Hello, Serenity Seekers. Welcome back to the second part of our conversation with Mark Smethurst, the Director of Time to Float in Stafford, in the West Midlands. And today we continue our enlightening journey with the Master of Tranquility and the art of flotation therapy. In this instalment, we delve a little deeper into the soothing world of flotation, exploring the benefits and the profound impact it can have on our overall well-being. Join us as Mark shares more secrets of finding serenity in the weightless embrace of the flotation tank and some of the other therapies available at Time to Float. From mindfulness to the science behind the float, this episode promises to be a rejuvenating experience. So whether you're a seasoned float enthusiast or a curious newcomer, there's something for everyone in today's conversation. Subscribe, relax, and let the gentle waves of wisdom from Mark guide you towards a state of deep tranquility. Let's dive in to flotation therapy.
So I noticed very quickly in the first 12 months of the business being open, a couple of particular medical conditions where people were coming in a lot of distress or a lot of pain, and inside a session we're noticing difference. The first one that we get such exceptional results, which I'll come to in a second, is a condition called fibromyalgia. The other one is arthritis, specifically rheumatoid conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. With regards to fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, ME, they're all very similar issues, but the neurological conditions, but they are so widespread to the point now, whenever we mention the word fibromyalgia, people say, yeah, I know someone's got that, or my mum's got that, or my aunt's got that, or I've got that. It's I saw a statistic last week that absolutely staggered me, and it was 1 in 20 people in the UK and now have fibromyalgia.
Wow.
Which is it's horrendous for the people that have it. But from our, that's 3 million people in the UK that have got it, and it's a condition that can't be cured at this moment. But they'll pump people full of drugs. But what we found with people that were coming from with fibro, we check on how much pain they're in. We check that there is a medical terminology, the Reflector pain scale. And we'd ask them what their pain levels were before they started and when they came through afterwards. And in 7 years of doing that, so we don't make years, we're about 12 months to do it, so 7 years and over 1,000 clients, we have a 100% success rate in reducing pain.
Wow.
Every single client, every single session, the pain levels are reduced. Wow. And that is amazing. That just gives me hope, and it gives me a chance to give people hope. At some point it'll get broken. I keep saying to people, don't you ruin it.
But
but at the end of the day, even if it's reducing it from like a 3 or a 4 down to a 1 or a 2, I have a lot of people come in there, they're saying they're 8 or 9 out of 10 in pain. Some of them, one we came last week, 12 out of 10, I can't cope anymore with this. And she came out and she said, I'm like 2 out of 10. And one person came out and said it's the first time in 15 years that she hadn't been in pain.
Wow.
And that was straight after the session. So it's incredible and when you can help people when they know that they can't be cured, but you can give them a semblance of what their life was like before they got fibromyalgia, and make them feel normal again, for want of a better way of describing it, and go about a normal day of life. It's such a gift. It's an absolute gift to give to people, to be fair.
It's that sense of relief and knowing, like being told by a doctor, we can't really do anything for you.
Here's some pills.
On your way. And then finding out actually there is something that's going to help and can benefit. And and again, I suppose that's the thing of once you've tried it and you get that pain relief, wanting to come back again and again.
And just to touch on a point we mentioned earlier, which is it's cumulative. So the more you do it, the more you're getting out of it, and the longer the gap will go between your float sessions without being in pain. So I'm a firm believer of working with clients on a one-to-one basis, because everybody's individual. But we always say the same thing. With anyone who has fibromyalgia, we do a 3-pack, and do it over a specific period of time, and see how it affects you. And if you feel better, great. If you don't feel better, it's a waste of time. If you're feeling better, how much better are you feeling? And the third thing you'll need to answer is, how long do you need to go between your sessions before you feel the familiar pains coming back? Now, for some people, that's a couple of days. For other people, they will float once a month, and it will they'll get through. The last week might be painful, but they'll live with it because they know they've got the float coming. And they know the next 2 or 3 weeks thereafter, they're going to be functioning at a level that they've not functioned at for a long time. And that's amazing. And for a long time, it's been either not diagnosed or misdiagnosed. And the reason why so many people are aware of it now is because they've worked out a workflow, for a better way of describing it. If it's not this, it's not this, and it's not this, then it must be. Which is great to give people the understanding that they have something wrong with them and they're not mad, and all the friends because people can't get out of bed, they're so tired they can't move. People like, oh, we can't make it out tonight, we're all going out, but I can't go because I just can't too ill.
Physically.
Yeah, exactly. When they know that they've got a big night out with friends or a birthday party, they'll come and float the day before or on the day, so they'll feel good and they can get through and get the most out of that session.
But that's nice to get the diagnosis and find something that works.
And that's from my personal perspective. I'm now trying to find ways to get the NHS to listen to what we can do for people with fibromyalgia, because I can't cure it, but I can give them their life back. And it's about quality of life, and that's what CCGs are targeted on, is providing the quality of life. And I know I can do that, but that's my battle for the next few years.
I really hope that works, because I think that's part of this idea that at the moment the NHS, well, not just at the moment, for many years, the pressure that it's under, the strain that it's under, and now it seems to be the situation where people can't even get an appointment to see a doctor, to see their GP. So if there are other ways that we can look after ourselves. And
obviously for private treatments, it can become expensive really, really quickly. So we can demonstrate to the NHS that it will reduce the cost of the times to the doctors, the trips to the doctors, the amount of money they're spending on medication. And in fairness, that there is a more proactive approach than there was 5 years ago. So it's some of the angles we're trying to explore at the moment to try and get floating access available through doctor surgeries, and we can make an awful lot of people feel an awful lot more well.
That would be amazing.
It drives me on. It gives me a reason to get up every day. You'll have to keep us updated, because that would be absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to ask about some of the other therapies that you mentioned. The what, boot compression boot therapy. So we started just as a flotation therapy centre, and we've got a couple of our clients that. I've got some clients now that are almost friends. They come that often, and it brings out the best in people. So I've met some amazing people here. So, and they're saying, like, have you ever thought about adding this to it? And this is how we will start with any new service we put in here. So we've got a few clients saying, have you ever thought about putting a sauna in? So I've been sauna in my life. Yeah, okay, that would work. So I then started looking at infrared saunas, and the benefits of infrared compared to a traditional sauna is so much better for you. We put infrared sauna in first about 5 years ago. People love it. They can either come on their own. We're the only place in Staffordshire where you don't have to have a gym membership or any form of membership. You can just walk in and have a sauna session. In the same way as traditional sauna, it's about creating heat, to shock the heat proteins in the body, to wake up, to move the toxins in the bloodstream. Toxins come out in sweat through the skin. So traditional sauna, you throw water on coals, it creates steam, makes it very, very hot, and it makes your body produce sweat. The problem with the traditional sauna is it's so hot, you can only spend between 8 and 12 minutes in there. Beyond that, you then get to the point where you're sort of dehydrating liver and parts of your body, which is dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Which is the reason why with hot tubs they say don't spend more than 20 minutes in there, because you're pickling it from the inside basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. If you ever go into spas or hotels, they say no more than 20 minutes in there, and that's the reason why you're overheating the body. Infrared sauna is different because the heat source is the infrared lamp itself.
Okay.
Infrared heat goes straight into the skin, so you don't have to heat the air up around the person to make you hot. The heat goes straight into the skin, so the temperature of the sauna is a lot lower than a traditional sauna.
Right.
But it's working from the second the heat gets onto your skin, and it starts your metabolism in your body and starts getting the blood moving and pumping.
Wow. Okay.
So you can spend longer in there safely, and because it runs at lower temperature, it feels more comfortable to sit in as well. So the first 5 or 10 minutes, it's no different from going on holiday. When your plane lands, that door opens, you get that wall of heat hit you, and it's nice. About 10 minutes in, you're like, oh, it's getting hot in here. Well, actually, the temperature hasn't changed. What's happened is your metabolism is moving the blood round, and therefore it's heating your body core temperature up, and it's pushing the sweat toxins out. By the end of 30 minutes, you are sweating, and you are sweating, and it burns up to around about 600 calories in a session. So, there's so much good going on there, and also from an interesting point of view, very good for mental health as well, because it releases endorphins.
Oh, okay.
And the dopamine. So sauna's really good. So that, again, this is stuff we're when researching, we put this into place. We found other things like ionic detox during lockdown. I'm looking at, like everybody else, I'm looking at things to do, and I keep seeing Wim Hof and Joe Wicks and ice baths. So we looked into that, saw the benefit, and certainly the sauna and the cold
immersion,
fire and ice. So that works. So that got put in. And the thing you mentioned a few minutes ago, which is compression boot therapies. Now, that came about, that was interesting, because though lots of the UK were locked down, there were certain industries that were allowed to stay open. For some reason, only their council will know, there is a cryotherapy centre in Shrewsbury that was allowed to stay open.
Oh.
So I took the opportunity, because I had, with my other works, exemption to travel.
Okay.
So I booked a half-day experience with them, tried their cryotherapy, their sauna, and they did this half-day pack. I'm like, yeah, I'll have it, I'll take it, I just want to do something. The cryo was amazing.
Just explain what the cryo is.
Cryotherapy, it's from the Greek word for cold, freezing. So it's minus 180 degrees. You stand in it, the cold, it reduces down your capillaries in the same way that cold water works, but it's a much colder temperature.
Right.
But it makes the body then start pumping quicker. Very, very good for you. Yeah, feeling the dopamine levels from that one are incredible. It's such a great thing to do. But it's A, it's very far away, and B, it's quite expensive. But the last thing I tried on the package was this thing called compression boots.
Yeah.
And it's a lymphatic massage of the legs. So if you think about a pair of trousers, like a salopette ski trousers, and it's compressing the muscles to squeeze the blood. So it's a lymphatic massage up and down the leg, so it gets the blood circulating around the leg, because the feet are the furthest part away from the heart. So therefore, if you don't exercise a lot, blood will pool there and it will stay there, and this is why people have circulation issues.
Right.
So anyone with circulation issues, it's great for. Conversely, anyone that does a lot of exercising, their muscles get tired, the fibres tear a little bit. So the lymphatic massage is just working on the feet and legs all the way up and down. It's a 20-minute treatment, and it's just like, well, that's a bit nice. And so I went 2 or 3 other times since then, and it's just like, wow, actually this is really good. I've done a lot of research since, and I now understand again about why people with exercise a lot, don't exercise, circulation issues and other sides things, like this is, and it just makes sense because it's something you can add together. So we can package it all, take half a day off you and send you back home in nirvana, or you can come and try one or two of them at the same time. But either way, everything that we do here interlocks and intermingles, so it doesn't matter what you put together, you're going to feel good for some reason, physically or mentally, from doing it, basically.
Overall, just as an overview, so let's say somebody who is listening at the moment doesn't really exercise, in fact might feel a bit worried or anxious about going out there and trying new things.
Yeah.
What would you kind of say, you know, like say if there wasn't anything specific like a medical condition, but just that idea of wanting to do something, get out there, what would you suggest or recommend?
Always the same thing. That I know we focused on with the last few minutes about people that exercise a lot, and I, if you could see me, listeners, trust me, it's very obvious I don't exercise a lot. I am not what you call skinny, but what we do here is there for everybody. Now, our cornerstone treatment will always be floating. Everything we do will always be around floating, to be fair. And people can come just for the, wow, what's that all about?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of TV programs and a lot of films that are now using flotation within them. Even mainstream programs like Simpsons are the obvious one. Ab Fab back in the day. The comedy Modern Family, that had an episode in there. There was a Gerald Butler film a little while back where at the end of the film him and his father both floated to get away from their sort of negative mental issues that they've had to go through before. So it's very much becoming in the mainstream, so people are becoming aware of floating and flotation. So for anyone of any shape or size, we currently have the tallest person we've had in was 6'10".
Wow.
I can absolutely guarantee that somebody's been in there that's over 20 stone. Wow. So, you know, at the end of the day, it is for anybody and everybody. Yeah, the weight of the salt. There is a metric ton of salt in that 10 inches of water. So it will support your body weight, to be fair. And just to get a break from the world, it is enough of a reason, as far as I would say, to be fair. Never mind the physical benefits. Even if you said, you know, I don't exercise, so I don't have any issues from that point of view. I don't have any back problems. I don't have any joint problems. It's just giving you that headspace.
Bit of space.
Yeah,
bit of time
absolutely.
For yourself.
And we get a lot of people that come that have got into meditation, the yoga side, meditation, and I want to explore that, or people that want to meditate. There's a great one. People that want to meditate that can't, or feel that they can't because of the surroundings. They're too aware. They can't zone out, for want of a better way of describing it. They're coming along because the conditions make it so easy to relax. People can get meditating and get a very deep meditative state. Or as one of my clients put very beautifully, and we use this a lot, to be fair, floating is like meditation on steroids.
Yeah, I agree.
It works. It's so right, to be fair.
Thanks so much for joining us for part 2 of our conversation with Mark Smethurst, the expert behind the transformative world of flotation therapy. Remember, your well-being is a journey, and we're here to explore it with you. Be sure to subscribe and tell your friends for more conversations with experts and thought leaders in the realm of holistic health. If you have any questions, comments or topics you'd like us to explore in future episodes, reach out to us on social media or through the website. We love hearing from our listeners. Thank you once again for tuning in. Until next time, where we'll be speaking with Pat Reeves, the owner and founder of Food Alive. Pat is an experienced nutritional therapist, practicing lifestyle and functional medicine, personal trainer, health educator, writer, and current world champion powerlifter, and an international referee. Pat's also the author of A Living Miracle, Fight Cancer at its Cellular Level and Win. This is going to be a big one. So take a moment to prioritise your self-care and embrace the journey to a healthier, more balanced life.